What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and most handsome dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and pocket poppy, Adrian Homeboy Holmes. Adrian, what's going up, dude?
What is going up, my guy? It is good to see you. It is good to be seen. What?
I just said we're here. We're here. We made it.
Making it, you know, doing what we can, surviving another Monday.
Yep. Getting through it.
You seem to be doing okay. I still sound terrible. Still feel fine, but you can be inclined to believe otherwise. The cough was a paid actor, by the way. I just want you to know that was not timed. Anyway, I've been doing good, man. Just, you know, glad to be through another Monday.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's with our sickness last week. I just want to formally apologize to all the listeners who were just like, this is
what is going on?
Yeah, like, sorry that happened, but you know what? So you just got to get the job done, you know? Got to get in there and get her done.
Consistency is key, okay? Yeah, that lets you know right there. Rain, sleet, snow, sickness, fox die, whatever it is, we're going to be here.
We do our best. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I just have like the frog in my throat, and like I have to keep like clearing the crap out of there every once in a while. So you might hear me like, you know, we'll cough, but it's not like the cough last week. It's not an unintentional. It's a very much intentional and productive cough. Trying to get back to 100%. That's like the worst. Sickness is the worst because even though like I feel better, I feel like 99.9% better. It's just like that 0.1%.
It's always a remnant.
It's just enough to like, I don't know, that small percentage of sickness kind of ruins all the rest of how good I'm feeling, you know? It's just like, this is just, I don't know. It's like someone just come up.
Just throw the rest of the sickness out. I'm not better. I'm never better.
It's like you're having a great day and someone just comes up and pokes you in the eye. It's like,
God,
it just ruins your whole day. So that's like what this little catch in my throat is. Like, I should, like, I'm fine. I'm great. But it's just like someone just came up and poked me right in the eye. I hate it.
Square in the eye.
Not
right in the
ideal.
peeper.
But here we are. We're here to talk about video games. There's some big news that just came out today. Wasn't
that I just learned about was massive.
Yeah, it wasn't originally on the show notes, but I was like, I should probably put that on there. That's a big enough deal. So today we're going to be talking about a major Pokemon leak at Game Freak, another PlayStation L, and Nintendo's new hardware announcement. It's not what you think.
Not that one.
Stay tuned. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumble Smash and Kajoma01, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, Carrie, and David Matthews. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys where you can support us starting at just $1 a month. That's right, $1 each and every month for the entire month. That gets you episodes early and ad-free and access to our Patreon exclusive shows such as Super Later Boys and early season Super Gamer Book Club. We'll talk more about our Patreon later on the show. You should go check it out. And in the meantime, I want to give a big old shout out to Jack Sriracha, Yate, and DJ Trooz for allowing us to use their music on our show. Today, we're listening to Jack Sriracha and Yate, a little playlist I got put together on Apple Music. And I think it was like last week or the week before, I added some of their newer stuff from this year. They've put out a few new tracks here in 2024, and I'd forgotten to add them. So they are in there. You might notice some new tunes. If you listen to our show enough, you might be like, oh, that's a new little background track they got there. That is thanks to Jack Sriracha and Yate. So go check them out. Links will be in the show description for Apple Music and Spotify. Go give them a listen. Add them to your playlist. All right, it's now time to check the mail. And
let's do it.
I'm guessing GamerBot's just ditching us again. Is that what's going on?
No, you already told people. You said that they were on vacation for October.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Frick. Okay. It was one of those things where they requested off the time. I didn't think they would take.
It's in the book. It's in the PTO book.
I don't know.
Remember we had to buy the little thing. We had to buy the binder from Office Max, the whole, and put it. Okay. Anyway,
I put that poster up on the wall over there. It's over there on my wall.
OSHA poster.
The OSHA poster.
The digital OSHA poster.
No, I got a real one. I got the real one up there.
No, I'm talking about like digital, like robot rights.
Oh, right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You got to remember, look, you and I are on a different plane, okay? We played 2064, all right? We understand robot rights, you know?
We do. Yeah, it's actually where I got the digital OSHA poster from. It's in the source code of the game. They actually have
there you go.
A little poster.
We respect robotic autonomy around these parts, all right?
AI rights. This first question comes to us from Crimson. They wrote in over at on our Discord. You can join our Discord by going to supergamerboys.com/Discord. It'll take you straight to the invite page. If you have an account, just log in. If you don't have an account, make one, and then you can join. Hang out with us during the week. Talk about what games you're playing, what movies you're watching, TV shows, music, whatever. Or if you just want to make fun of me, that seems to happen from time to time as well. So,
I mean, they don't need an account to do that, but you know.
I mean, yeah, you can do that anytime.
It's nice to have one because then you can go back and you can review all your previous insult posts. It's like a little archive of them.
Yeah, I actually pin them in a separate thread that no one else can see, or just for myself. So I can go back when I'm really feeling high up on my high and mighty. You know, I'm like, nah, I need to be brought down a few pegs. I'm gonna go read through all the
humble me.
Sorry, I'm just really distracted because I can see a preview of myself on Discord. The colors are so far off. I need to like fix the color on my camera. I don't know what happened, or maybe it's my monitor. My shirt's supposed to be blue. It's blue, but this looks green. Doesn't it?
Yeah,
this looks green.
It looks like a light, maybe like a, what do they call it? Seafoam green.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's like even that should be like a bright.
That looks blue.
Right, but even this like isn't as blue as it's supposed to be. I need to fix the color on my camera.
Well, you can do that while we app. So
I can't. It's gonna way more involved thing. It's just gonna drive me crazy all episode.
Oh well.
It's gonna drive everyone on YouTube crazy now too. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Garrett's."
Everyone on YouTube would not have known.
I would have known. Now I've ruined it. This first question comes from Crimson. You've been told that you can have a sequel / new game in one of your top 2 favorite franchises.
Oh.
But the one that you don't pick gets erased from existence. What do you pick? Top 2 favorite game franchises.
My God.
And basically one gets more games. One gets another game. One erased from
Now, wait a minute.
history.
I'm assuming they mean when you say it gets erased from history, that means like it never existed. I won't remember I ever played it. Anything.
The exact words are it gets erased from existence, which I would assume.
As of now.
I mean, I would assume.
So there's history of it, but then after now, it's gone, right? Because if I can keep the memory of playing with one of them, then I'm okay with letting it go. Because it's not the series that I know anymore.
When I hear that, I think like it's like totally like wiped.
Like all traces of it have been gone, have been erased.
All traces are destroyed, and Men in Black flashed, mind wiped. Like no one ever remembers he even existed. It's just gone.
Oh man.
That's how I take that.
This is okay. Then this is a tough one. You want to go first?
Is it tough though? Because am I like, yes, it's sad. Because we know what we're losing. Like in this specific instance, it's tough. But think about it. Like if this actually happened and you picked one and we all just forgot a game existed, then you wouldn't be bummed or sad because you would never even know it existed. Like you wouldn't know what you're missing out.
You're right.
I'm framing
I'm framing it in the context of I would remember what it was.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because of like in our current situation, but like as soon as we like vocalize like, this game, like boom, it would be gone. And then we'd be like, oh, what was I bummed about? I don't remember. Yeah, anyways, right. Like we would just move on with life, right? It doesn't make it any easier because again, from a now perspective, from our current perspective, like it's still hard to determine like, oh, what franchise would I want a game from more? And for me, I don't know. I'm trying to think. This is tough. Honestly, okay. So first things first, we need to determine what our 2 favorite game franchises are. obviously one of mine is Metal Gear Solid, but I'm trying to figure out number 2, because on one hand, I wanted like Death Stranding, but I'm also trying to think of like
that's like tomato though, like. But, I mean, mine are obviously.
Yeah. And what I was going to say, though, is like with Death Stranding, like we already know it's getting a sequel here. So I'm trying to think of like another one to replace that. Like what would be the alternative?
I mean, mine are for sure Kingdom Hearts and Animal Crossing. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade.
That's tricky.
That's what I'm saying. That is tricky for me now that I'm thinking about it. Right. But if I really sit down and I wonder about it, I would probably still pick Kingdom Hearts
to keep because to get another game in.
To get another game in, because I know that based on the success and popularity of New Horizons, the next Animal Crossing game, there's a very high chance it's just gonna be like that again, and it's not the Animal Crossing that I'm looking for. So I don't think I would want another game in the series, and in turn, that means I would be letting it go, which would suck. But as you just said, I wouldn't even remember it was gone. I wouldn't remember what it was. So like, oh well. But speaking in this context, it's like, man,
that's hard. That's
tough, man. That game did so much for me as a young, weird, sheltered man that had maybe like 6 or 7 friends in the world. It's like, ugh.
I'm still trying to determine what my second franchise would be, but I'm just going to say right off the bat, this is going to shock everyone. I don't think I would want another game in the Metal Gear franchise.
No, that tracks because you don't like 5.
Because I don't like 5, and Kojima's not there anyways. Or like the slip I made a couple weeks ago. Kojima's not there anyways. That was so funny when he shared the clip from YouTube where I accidentally said, I was talking about Kojima's new phase with Kojima Productions. I said Kojima. I didn't even know it. It wasn't on purpose.
Kojima Productions.
Until you talked about it later. Anyways, yeah, like as much like that's definitely my number 1 of all time. Like,
okay.
Whatever number 2 is, like again, I'm struggling to even come up with a good number 2, but I still think I would cut number 1.
Just say everything.
I still think I would cut Metal Gear and cut number 1 just because I would be so terrified about another game in that franchise. Wow. I didn't like 5, and Survive was horrendous. What I played of it, I played like.
Do you count Survive though? Do you honestly count Survive?
It's still a Metal Gear. It's me personally, no, but it's still technically a Metal Gear game. They tried to come out with a Metal Gear game, and that's what I'm afraid of is if they try again and do something wacky.
I don't think that's a Metal Gear game. I think that's a game that just happens to use a Metal Gear name. It's not a Metal Gear game.
Exactly, though. That's the thing. Konami's still in charge, and they're the people who decided to make a game with the name Metal Gear, and it was that, and they could do that again.
Because they knew it was gonna try to make money.
It could be a whole like.
They will not do that again. After how bad Survive flopped, they won't try that again.
They wouldn't make a game like that, but they might do the same type of idea where they try to do, let's do something crazy, wild, and then it just flops again. Like that's what I'm afraid of.
It won't be called Metal Gear.
If I ask for a sequel in the Metal Gear universe and they do, and it's enough, like if it's that situation again, I would be sad. Because then whatever my number 2, like say just for hypothetical, like, yeah, Death Stranding. Okay. Number 2, the fact that I would pick Metal Gear, lose Death Stranding, and then they come out with another Metal Gear game and it's terrible. Like I would be so pissed. Or at least I know whatever franchise number 2 is, whether it's like the things going through my head is like, okay, Death Stranding or Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to get more games. Although even the last one that came out of that, I wasn't super psyched about. I didn't hate it, but I remember talking about the show. I was like, it wasn't my favorite of the ones.
No, R4 was pretty good though.
It was good. It just, I guess, yeah, it wasn't quite the same as the originals, but
what can be,
yeah, or even like God of War. Like I would love I still think I would cut Metal Gear, as wild as that is, because that's like literally
to save it.
Yeah.
Then it's the same thing. Like I just said, I know
I would delete Metal Gear from existence just to protect it.
I said the same thing. I said I would rather not have a new Animal Crossing game than get another game like New Horizons. Even though I'm currently playing New Horizons, it is not Animal Crossing. It is not what Animal Crossing is to me, I should say. It is what it is to newer players and to people who want that, but crisp, direct, full-on original Animal Crossing, it is not.
Right. Yeah, man, it's tough. But sometimes you just gotta kill your kids to save them, you know?
Yeah.
You know what
I
they
understand.
say.
No, I do. And the internet is going to let you, they're going to make sure you remember this.
I also, that I'm pretty sure it's not a thing people say, but.
No, it's not. It's not. It really isn't. I was just going to let you rock. I'm like, I'll support you, friend, but.
I was trying to see how outlandish I go and see what your response was, and you just went with it. I'm like, okay.
I was just like, well,
I just got to be clear.
Okay,
that's not
you're
a thing.
Maniac.
That's not a thing people say. That's not a thing I will do.
Not
I will
at all.
never murder my child. I just want to be upfront.
I think we should keep tabs on you for a little bit, maybe.
Oh, man, I'm on a watch list now, huh? FBI's, NSA's listening in.
They're in the bushes as we speak.
All right. This next letter comes from Ranger. Another one.
Hit me.
They wrote in over on our website on the forum, and they say, "Let's romp with Ranger, boys."
Oh boy, is that what his thing is called? Romp with Ranger now?
Romping with Ranger. A little romp with Ranger. Boys, I recall the first time it was revealed to me that Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart are friends.
Where are you going with this? What? Keep going.
I thought, what is this? How could this be? What a peculiar thought. It was one of those moments that I found odd, strange. It was definitely a first for me. Such moments have happened throughout my personal history in gaming, and it has me thinking. I recall talking into the microphone to Seaman on my Dreamcast, and Leonard Nimoy responding back with his... What?
I said deep cut, Seaman.
Oh, yeah,
Not a lot of people know it these days.
And Leonard Nimoy responding back with his snarky retorts, and I thought, this is definitely a first and was certainly very odd and strange. I recall playing a game on my 3DS for the first time in 3D. Shout out to Adrian. I still have my 3DS and always will.
Yes, sir.
Again, very unusual. I'd go on, but Garrett will most likely call me out for writing a book, so I'll dedicate this last one to him. I recall playing a side quest in The Witcher 3 for over 4 hours, and yes, again I thought, what a strange concept in a game, and I absolutely loved it. My question for this week is, do you boys recall a time when you were either playing a particular game mechanic, or game technology where you thought, this is either completely strange and bizarre, or perhaps it was your first time doing something in a game that took you completely by surprise? P.S. I recently played through RoboCop and thought it was a fun callback to a time when RoboCop ruled the streets. We'll see if Amazon can get the TV series off the ground. They're getting closer. There was like a new RoboCop game that just came out this last year, right?
Yeah, and people were saying it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is better than it's bad. So, take your wins where you can get them.
There you go. I'm going to be honest. I've never even seen the RoboCop movies.
Really? None of them?
Never seen anything RoboCop.
Do yourself a favor. They are some of the campiest, cheesiest, most fun 80s movies there are, man. They're so good.
I can only imagine. I feel like I've seen
they
clips.
Scream 80s.
I've seen clips, but yeah, never the whole thing. Maybe one of these days.
I think something that made me realize that I've never seen anything like that before. To be quite honest, one of the ones that sticks out is probably Undertale.
Oh.
When the game, when it crashes, or when it crashes, spoilers, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess anybody up.
People should have played it.
Yeah, you should have played it by now. It's one of the best games of all time. But you are you're playing a boss, and then the boss, like, quote unquote, crashes the game, and it literally cuts the game, like it cuts the program, it force quits it, and then you open it again, and the boss, and the text is changed in the game, and you go back to the boss, and he force quits it again, and then you have to open it up again, and then it continues with the game. It's like, oh
yeah.
I was flipping out when that happened.
Like, I said, you think the game's like crashing on you?
Yeah.
It's just
and then you see, they thought of this? Nuts. And I'm sure it's been done. Somebody's going to say, oh, well, this game did this back in 1994. And it did. I'm not saying it didn't. I just didn't run into it. This is my first encounter with something like that. So I guess breaking the fourth wall in such a dramatic way, because games have obviously broken the fourth wall before. That's nothing new. But like, to go and actually use the game itself as part of the immersion, like it's creeping into the real world. Oh, aces. That
just reminded me. This wasn't a pick when I first read the question, but you just reminded me. I can't remember the exact name of the game, but I streamed it a couple years ago during Spooky Gamer Boys. It was a horror game, so you can go back and watch the VOD. And there was a game I played where it did the same thing, where it would cut, like it would force quit the game. But when it force quit, all of a sudden there's a text document on my desktop.
Ooh.
And you'd open the text document and then it would say stuff. And it's like, oh, this is creepy. And then you play the game a little more.
That's nuts.
And all of a sudden it's like, hey, if you like all of a sudden it'd like force quit again. And it was like updated and you could read it again and there's more to it. And it's like kept like changing. Like the text document kept like giving you like more hints and like, oh man. Stuff like that is so freaky. I wish I could remember the name of it. But I mean, if you go back to Spooky Gamer Boys from like the last time we did it, a couple of years ago now, then it's in the VOD. Oh man, I'll have to look that up. But stuff like that is always so fun. Like breaking the fourth wall, but in a way that like almost feels like, I don't know, like it's violating a little bit. It's like, wait a second, this is my computer. What are you doing in here?
What are you doing in here?
You don't belong here.
Right.
This is like you belong on my computer, but inside the game box. You stay in the game box. You don't come out.
Don't come out.
Stuff like that's always wild. My pick was also going to be like a fourth wall breaking thing, and that was obviously Metal Gear Solid 1.
CD case
throughout the entire game, whether it's like referencing the CD case and you're like, what the heck are they talking about the CD case? And then
or your memory card,
you physically grab the game case and you're like, oh, there's the information I needed. Psycho Mantis reading your memory card, or like the whole Psycho Mantis bit where he's like, I can read your mind, and he like goes to your memory card, shares all the games you've been playing. Also, he's like, I can
make the controller move with my mind.
I can move the controller with my mind, and it was like right when the first DualShock came out. So you put the controller down, and it starts vibrating and like moving across your coffee table or whatever. You're like, oh my gosh, he's actually moving it. Or even like really a lot of the things that were during the Psycho Mantis fight. The other one is while you're fighting them, the screen will go like black. And then it doesn't really work. It doesn't work great on modern TVs, but if you grew up with a CRT TV back in the day, it was a very common thing when like you turn the TV on and off, like it would say like stereo or like input, like the channel or whatever in the top corner. And then like it would kind of like be static and then flash and then get like big, small, like it would just kind of do like weird, like little glitchy things when it first started up. And Kojima put that in the game. Like all of a sudden the screen goes black and it makes like kind of like the beep like sound, and then all of a sudden like it goes brink, like comes back on, but instead of saying like stereo or channel 1, it said Hideo in the top corner. It's like, what the heck is like for a split second you're tricked into thinking your TV turned off. So like you're reaching for the TV remote and all of a sudden like the game's like, no, it's back on, hang on. It was a false alarm. Switching the controller ports in order to beat him. This is a spoiler for Metal Gear Solid, but like you got to switch. He can read all of your movements. He can read in the controller port 1 on a PlayStation 1. So in order to beat him, there's ways to do it without doing it, but the easiest way is just take it out of port 1 and put it in a player 2 port, and then
fun way, the way you're supposed to do it, is to take it out.
Yep, and then he can't read your movements, so you can run around and attack him, punch him,
so
shoot him,
good.
Whatever. That whole thing is so incredible. Like, as like Kid Garrett playing this game for the first time, like this like blew my freaking mind. Like, what is happening? This game is like magical. How did he do
this? How did he know this?
And then I have another pick, which was more like a technology pick, because like he was talking about, you just playing games on the 3DS kind of blew his mind. The first time picking up a Wii, like we got our Wii, poppin' Wii Sports, and like you're moving the Wii remote around in real life and it's happening in the game. Like it shows you a little tennis player and like you're moving your controller. I remember just going like as fast as possible. And in the game,
it's still tracking me.
Your little me is like doing the same thing, looking like a maniac in there, you know? Or when you're doing the boxing, you got both the Wiimote and the nunchuck and you're just like, you know, flinging your arms around wildly just to see what it looks like. And it tracks it all. It's like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I don't know, at that point in time, like that wasn't, I don't know. I can't really think of any other peripheral that had motion like that. Obviously we had stuff that could track, like light guns were a thing and whatnot, you know? And, you know, before that, I mean, I talked about last week, the iToy for PlayStation 2, but something that's just like, it's controller based like that, movement and using like the accuracy. That's what was surprising. It's like, oh, wow, like this like feels like an extension of your arm. You're in the game. It was so cool. The Wii was such an awesome console, but I miss it. I miss stuff like that. Nintendo doing weird and wacky stuff. I kind of almost hope the Switch 2 has some
weird stuff,
something weird like that.
Street Pass, bring back Street Pass. Garrett, you missed out, man. It was so good. Just going somewhere and then opening your 3DS like after a little bit and seeing that you passed by like 10 or 12 other people that had the same thing, and you get to like just a quick little glimpse into somebody's life. Like you get to see their me, you get to see what they're playing, and it's like, all right, fellow 3DS user, play on, and then you just keep going. You know,
That's awesome.
It's a fun little like brotherhood thing, but.
That's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Do you have anything else or?
My technology one would probably be. It would probably be dynamic soundtracks.
Oh,
I think those are pretty cool. You know, like depending on the context of what you're doing in the game, the soundtrack would change. Like it would get quieter, or you know, like if you crouch down, the music gets quiet, or if you start running, it'll pick up, or you know, sometimes in games where if you have attacks, it'll like hit to the beat, or the music will change, or you know, just like certain like you can tell the music is on a loop, right? But then when you get to a certain point, it'll like somehow know, and then it'll trigger to play the end of the song. You know, that it helps with the immersion in the situation. So
yeah, that's
I think that would be my big thing, is like adaptive music is what I'm trying to say. Or like I don't know if it's a thing, but like I feel like in Burnout, the faster you go, the louder the music gets. In my brain, though.
That might be true. There's definitely some game I've played that does that. Yeah, like a racing game that did that. It might have been Burnout. I think you're right. Yeah, like as you go, it just like pumps it up, amps it up, and then as you slow down or as the action is less, it gets more tame. Yeah, stuff like that is always so fun because it's just like it feeds into the excitement. Like you're just like in this chaotic moment. You're like, heck yeah, this is so awesome. It's
blast the music, do it.
Yeah. Oh, so good. I mean, like even more modern game like Hi-Fi Rush. The whole premise of the game was doing things to the beat and with the music, and they like took that to a whole new level with making the soundtrack so adaptive with whatever was happening in the world. And I don't know, that was such a clever way not just to have it in the game, but to make it a mechanic as well. You know, so cool. All right. Well, that's it for the mailbag this week. Remember, if you want your questions answered, write them in. Join our Discord over at supergamerboys.com/Discord, or be a weirdo, write it in over at supergamerboys.com on our contact form.
Actually, maybe don't do that because you're still in Rangers Thunder. That's his thing. You know what I mean? If more people start doing, he's like, all right, I'm out of here. It's too popular now.
I need to rename it. Instead of that being called the contact form, it's just like the Rangers form. This is only for Rangers. The only one allowed to fill it out. I put like a login on the page, so people hit the contact us page on our website, and it just says like username and password, and you have to know. And we'll let Rangers set up username and password that only people access. It's this little private page. Oh man. All right. Well, it's now time for the nerdy news.
It's now time for the nerdy news. Oh, I was nervous about that one. I was nervous about that's the highest I've been able to go all like in the past few days.
I mean, from what I could tell, it sounded good, but I didn't hear.
I had to lock in. My vocal cords were like, "You're in front of people potentially. This is a live recording. You need to show up," and they did. I appreciate you.
All right. This first news story comes to us from Wesley and Poole over at IGN. Pokemon developer Game Freak reportedly hacked stolen data on unannounced games as well as Nintendo Switch 2 codename leaked online. The original story here, Pokemon developer Game Freak has reportedly suffered a significant hack resulting in this leak of stolen data that includes codenames for the 10th generation Pokemon games and even the Nintendo Switch 2. As reported by Nintendo Life, data leaked includes the codename of Nintendo's next-gen console, reportedly Ounce, the codename of the unannounced 10th generation Pokemon game, reportedly Gaia, and the codename of the announced Pokemon Legend ZA, Ikaku. Neither Nintendo nor the Pokemon Company. Oh, that's not accurate. There has been an update. So here's the update. Game Freak has issued a statement confirming the company suffered a data breach in August 2024. So 2 months ago, the hack happened. They just haven't said anything until stuff got leaked this past weekend. So that kind of triggered them. Oh, we should probably say something now that stuff's getting out. The company said its server was illegally accessed with 2,606 cases of current, former, and contract employee names and email addresses accessed. The Japanese language statement carries a date of October 10th, 2024, and does not mention the Pokemon data that has emerged since. In the statement, Game Freak apologized to all those affected by the data breach and insisted the vulnerability at the heart of the attack was since rebuilt. So yeah, big ol' hack at Game Freak. Obviously, the worst part of it is people's personal information getting leaked. That's obviously
by far
less than ideal and very significant. It's wild that they're just now saying something about it, though. Like if I was one of those 2,600 names, I would have wanted to know 2 months ago, not now that my information's out there, right? But yeah, apparently some code names on. Now I saw another source that mentioned there was source code leaked as well. IGN doesn't mention that, but I read another article that mentioned
maybe for old games. I doubt they have. I doubt they would have the Gen 10 source code up and accessible like that. It's probably in a vault somewhere that they have to go access.
Okay, so the original article from Nintendo Life that IGN referenced, I just brought it up. Pokemon developer Game Freak has apparently been hacked. A large amount of data from source code to future project details leaking online. Here's the tweet. Giga Leak Game Freak Nintendo, currently known and present on the internet. There must be a total of 1 terabyte and only 4 gig are really available. No links will be posted for the moment on this account for information purposes only while we check the sources, blah, blah, blah. So, it sounds like, no, so I don't know why IGN didn't mention this, but the original actual article that talks about the leak, yeah, source code to future project details were leaked online. As reported by Nintendo, everything, that's funny. Everyone just keeps referencing someone else. No one's actually, who's the source on this?
Yeah, because it's the source. No, you'll never find out.
This is supposed to be the source, according to IGN, but now they're saying
whoever the source is, they're getting shut down.
That's true.
Nintendo will be at their building tomorrow.
Source code for multiple Pokemon DS titles has allegedly surfaced. The game story claims the code name for the 10th generation of the Pokemon has been so that's what it sounds like. Yeah, you're right. So it's source code from a bunch of DS games were leaked. Code names for the Switch successor, code name for the new game, code name for the other new game that we already know about. Yeah, interesting. It sounds like with the new game is being tested. There was a note in some of the data that was leaked. The Switch 2 is the target platform for the new Pokemon game. The game is at least being tested for the current Switch as well.
Of course.
Which that makes sense. That checks out. There's also seemingly some evidence of a Pokemon title which was supposedly a collaboration with another developer. Apart from this, unused Pokemon pixel art beta designs from multiple generations are reportedly beginning to pop up on social media and elsewhere online. So even like scrapped Pokemon designs from like previous games all being leaked.
I did see some of those online. I did see pictures of those pop up. Some of them, glad we didn't get them. Some of them, we were robbed. Just
oh man,
throwing that out there.
Yeah. So crazy. I guess the most shocking thing to me is that it took them so long to acknowledge something when people's personal information was at risk here. And I hope they make it right at the very least. Like they reach out to these people and provide them services which help protect their identities, from being stolen. Now that potential, names, email addresses, who knows what else, could have been leaked. That's obviously not ideal, but I guess my only other thought with this story was with the well, I mean, this is totally has nothing to do with a leak, but a mention of another Pokemon game. My first thought was like, ooh, I wonder how soon we could actually see that Pokemon game. So tangent a little bit, but how soon, do you think that's early in the Switch 2 here? Within the first year, or is that a couple years out still, you think?
I think it's probably a couple years out, mainly because we have ZA coming out, and I think that's going to be the bridge to buy them some time.
That's true.
Also, that could be now Nintendo could be insane.
Well, we know
they could be crazy. They could be crazy enough to try to make Gen 10 a launch window game. Now, you do that, you stick to your guns, and you make it a Switch 2 only title.
Ooh.
It's gonna move. It's gonna move.
Yeah. No, wait, yeah.
But the problem with that is they're not gonna do that because there's 100 and something million Switch 1s in the world. But if they do that and they make it only for the Switch 2, you will move crazy units in the first few months at the very least, and then you come up behind it with a Mario Kart or with a blah blah blah, you know what I mean, and keep it going.
I mean, I think
Mario Kart they will definitely make exclusive to Switch too, but 100%. Pokemon, I think there's too many people between the Switch 1 and Switch 2.
I don't know. Whatever the 10th generation Pokemon game, no matter when it comes out, whether it's during the launch window or it's a year or two in, I think I would think that's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive.
I mean, how so?
I mean, they've done that with every other console they've had. They've had clean cuts, when DS came out. They're like, okay, the next Pokemon game, it's just on DS. It didn't come out on Game Boy Advance, and so on and so forth. The 3DS to Switch, they've always made clean cuts before. Why would they not do that this time? Because 3DS had 100,000 some odd units, right? And they were just no, sorry, it's come out on Switch and that's it. They just cut them off.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time where their consoles have been in such a space from each other that one could theoretically run the same game that the predecessor could theoretically run the same game that the current one has. It would just be at a lower either resolution or frame rate or something like that. So in theory, you could make one big game, make a Switch 2 version, scale it down, scale the frame rate down, and make it a Switch 1 game as well. Kind of like how Sony's been doing for God of War and Horizon type of deal. They could do it for this.
They could, but that's just not Nintendo. They've never done that before. They've actually, when they say they believe in generations, they've always stuck to their guns on that. They've never done the half step like what Sony's been doing, where they chickened out this generation.
Yeah, you know what?
So
yeah, you're right.
I don't know. They could. You're not wrong. You're 100% right. They could. The Switch is still a capable machine. Things could be dumbed down, but they don't have that track record, the history there of doing that. So it just makes me think
also, you need a way to guarantee that you're going to move units. And if it's this and it's Mario Kart, that's how you do it. Exactly.
A new 3D Mario game, a Mario Kart, and a new Pokemon game. And hook, line,
it's
sinker.
gonna move.
Hook, line, sinker. You've got everyone. I guess we can. I don't know. Do you have any more to say about the hack? I got off a tangent there.
No, not really. I didn't read too much of what was in it.
Yeah.
Outside of seeing pictures of concepts and scrap Pokemon, but I mean, I feel for Game Freak, you know, having all your stuff kind of put out there. But this has happened before. Nintendo had a mega leak before, and a lot of stuff got leaked out, and you know, everybody lived. So
yeah,
I don't see why this couldn't be the case again. Yeah, it'll suck for them, but you know, time goes on, and nobody's threatening you with ransom or anything like that. So, you know, take it as a win. You don't have to go into litigation about it.
So I went back one more article. According to Nintendo Life, they said their source was Nintendo Everything. So I'm on Nintendo Everything's news story.
And their source?
They don't have a source. It seems like, their source is a Twitter account, which originally tweeted it out. It's now a protected Twitter account. You can't read any of their tweets.
Gee, how convenient.
But Pokemon developer Game Freak hit with hack, internal info leak. So they have even more information about what exactly was leaked, which is helpful for the news story here. Thus far, we know that the source code for Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Black 2 and White 2 have surfaced. A few code names are also popping up, including Gaia, which is apparently what Gen 10 is going by internally. Speaking of which, the new gen is apparently being developed by 4ounce, which supposedly confirms Switch 2's code name. And for those curious, Ikaku is a code name for Pokemon Legends ZA. Another interesting code name is Synapse. We're not quite sure what this is, but there are reports of it being an unreleased multiplayer battle title with something describing it as a PvP or MMO game. Interesting. ILCA, who worked on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, is apparently involved with this project. So who's ILCA? Who worked on the Diamond and Pearl remakes? I don't remember.
That wasn't Grezzo? I thought it was.
According to this article, it's someone.
Oh no, Grezzo was somebody else. I'm sorry.
ILCA. I don't know what studio that is or what they're talking about, but or referring to. Today's Game Freak Pokemon hack is reminiscent of the Nintendo leak or Giga leak that started in 2018, was also prominent in 2020. That included information about the company's past consoles, prototypes of games, and other internal data. Pokemon was even a part of it, all as the 1997 Nintendo Space World demos for Pokemon Gold and Silver leaked and got a look at early creature designs. As for today's Game Freak hack, the situation is very much developing. We'll keep you up to date as we hear more. Okay, so here's the more information. Wow, there's a lot of updates. This article is way more thorough than everyone else's. Synapse has now been described
journalistic integrity?
Right? Synapse has now been described as a Splatoon-like game, but it's unclear what that means at present. Pokemon Legends ZA is already finished, and it seems to be a normal Switch game. Gen 10 is a Switch 2 right now with the two versions K and N. And while there's been some conflicting information, it appears that the game is at least being tested for the current Switch as well. Okay, so maybe you're onto something there, if it's being tested on both. Beta versions of Licky, Kricketune, Skuntank, Shaman, Rotom, Arceus, Giratina, Honchkrow, and Porygon Z have emerged. You can find those below. There's a little imager gallery with all the beta versions of these Pokemon that will never see the light of day. Some of them look very similar to,
I hate to hear it,
what the real ones look like, but plus unused music for Heart Gold, Soul Silver. There's a little MP3 player here if you want to listen to that. Pokemon leaks are continuing now for Gen 5. Here's a look at some beta designs for Gen 5. They have beta designs for Gen 3. And a bunch of stuff for the new Pokemon movies and anime were also leaked. Wow, so they got like everything. It wasn't just
everything. Sounds like
it wasn't just Game Freak. It was also stuff for like the movies, TV shows, everything. Pokemon Legends ZA was originally planned for winter of 2024, but was postponed. Will likely include Mega Zygarde, Mega Zaora, blah blah blah. So it was supposed to come out this year. Now it's looking like next year. Detective Pikachu.
I'm fine with that.
Detective Pikachu sequel, the movie, was planned for this year, but it's unclear if it's still in the works.
I thought they said that got canceled.
It says here that it was planned for this year, but yeah, it's right now it's in limbo.
Okay.
Live action movie series was planned. Game Boy, the name of the movie is going to be Game Boy, aims to dig deep into the theme of Pokemon's boundless potential, creating a story that highlights the importance of bonds, whether between friends or between Pokemon themselves. It may seem like a simple story at first glance, but by showcasing unexpected situations such as the moments when bonds are broken or how one overcomes trauma, it brings out its unique flavor.
Hear me out. What if we just call it Pokemon?
Right? Wow.
Because all these things already happen in Pokemon. We don't need to call it Game Boy. What does it have to do with anything?
Nothing at all. Wow. That's great. Yeah, so there's a lot in that leak. Interesting. I mean, nothing of like too much consequence, but really, if anything, like the coolest thing, I guess, is all the beta designs and stuff. I haven't had a chance to look through those, but now I kind of want to flip through. Maybe I'll look through those albums later and see some of the Pokemon we missed out on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this next news story comes to us from IGN. Wesley Yinpool once again. Right, Sony announces permanent removal of LittleBigPlanet 3 PS4 from the PlayStation Store. Sony has announced plans to pull LittleBigPlanet 3 from the PlayStation Store for good after years of unsurmountable server issues caused by hackers. The PS4 version of LittleBigPlanet leaves the PlayStation Store permanently on October 31st, with all its DLC going with it, Sony said. It's worth noting that if you already own LittleBigPlanet 3 or buy it before October 31st, you can continue to play after this point. Similarly, if you have downloaded LittleBigPlanet 3 via PlayStation Plus, you will still be able to play it after October 31st. After 10 years of playing, creating, and sharing content on LittleBigPlanet 3, the game and our entire range of LittleBigPlanet DLC will be removed from the PlayStation Store on October 31st, read a statement published to Twitter. This is a friendly heads up that if anyone in the community or any newcomers still wish to own a digital copy of LittleBigPlanet 3 or any LittleBigPlanet 3 DLC currently available for purchase, this is your last chance to do so.
Hurry up, go get it.
It's the latest development for Sony's ill-fated platform, which is set to leave the PlayStation Plus subscription next week, despite being a first-party PlayStation Studios game. The Sumo Digital developed LittleBigPlanet 3 launched on PS3 and PS4 in November 2014, and as this PlayStation Studios title, is wholly owned by Sony Interactive Entertainment. LittleBigPlanet 3's exit from PS Plus has sparked speculation. Sony may be planning to release a remaster or remake for PS5 and PC. Sony pulled Guerrilla's Horizon Zero Dawn from PS Plus back in May, and last month announced the Horizon Zero Dawn remastered for PS5 and PC. Perhaps LittleBigPlanet 3 will follow suit. Sony shut down Yeah, I don't know about that. Sony shut down LittleBigPlanet 3 service permanently in April of this year due to the technical issues after long-running distributed denial of service DDoS attacks, resulting in the loss of millions of online community levels. So yeah, kind of sad that this piece of gaming history is just being tossed.
Did they say why?
No.
Like, I don't think there's any copyrighted music in that one, like the first one.
No, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I mean, the only we know why the servers were shut down in April is because of the DDoS attacks. But as far as like why they're pulling the rest of the game, no idea. I just don't.
That's so weird. Like the
weird.
First one, they don't care about. Like, they don't have to worry. Like, because Passion Pit was like, bro, you can use Sleepyhead for whatever. It doesn't matter. Just use it for. We don't care. We love LittleBigPlanet. Like, just keep using it.
Yeah.
So why would they need to pull the third one?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised there's no like specifics given. Let me
maybe legal issue.
Let me double check on the official Twitter account where they did the post. Yeah, no, it doesn't say why. Just says thank you for your continued support and understanding. What I think is most interesting is that if you own it, well, not just own it. So from everything I've read, you have to not only own it, but have it downloaded. It sounds like once you delete it, you won't be able to download it again. But if it's on your console, after it gets delisted, you should still be able to play it, I think.
So it's a PT situation.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like.
Because that's how they did us. Remember, they were like, if you delete it, you can't re-download it.
Yeah. Because like they in the actual post, it says that. It says anyone that currently owns or purchases Well, okay. So in their post, it says anyone that currently owns or purchases Little Big Planet 3 or any Little Big Planet DLC before it's delisted for sale will still be able to access their purchased games and content after its removal. That says that. So that says the.
So what's the real?
But then in the comments, people keep saying, "Hey, like if I claimed it, da 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 da," like, and here's like their official response in the comments: if you have downloaded Little Big Planet 3 via PlayStation Plus, you will still be able to play it. So maybe it's a difference between owning and then the PlayStation Plus. If you get it for free, if you get it for free through PlayStation Plus, you need to download it and do not delete it, or else it's gone forever. Where if you purchase the license, they're letting you keep the license. You just won't be able to purchase more licenses. And maybe that's the difference.
I think you're onto something. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. So sad. Especially for a franchise that's like was the poster child for PlayStation for a little bit there, through the PS3 generation.
Shout out Sackboy,
So a good old Sackboy, he was the one on the front of the box.
I still love Sackboy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Astrobot's kind of took his lunch.
Has taken it, he took the baton, Sackboy was like, here, my time has passed. And Astrobot took it and said, I got it, little bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh man, but
and took off
for sure. But yeah, so this is such a weird situation too, with not knowing the why. Like, I hope either that comes out, or I hope it is a situation where maybe it's getting remastered and it'll come back. But if not, then at least tell us.
That would be nice. Like, I would absolutely play it again.
Don't just ghost us and be like, and it's gone. But PlayStation has done weirder, worse things, unfortunately.
Yep.
Did you see PlayStation 5 Pro pre-orders went up like last week? And obviously they did the whole like queue system and everything. Like, you gotta take turns. And I think they were anticipating an absolute blowout, clear out, everything's gonna sell.
They still had stock. No way.
At the end of the day, I went on the PlayStation Direct. All the 30th anniversary stuff gone, obviously.
Oh yeah, no, that goes without. That's an investment for people.
But it was like 9:30 at night, and I logged on. I could still pre-order a PS5 Pro.
That's nuts.
Like, oh, whoop, gulp.
Well, are the updates even out that take advantage of it yet? I feel like Mark Cerny was like, "This is what we're planning for in the future."
No, they're not. I mean, it doesn't come out even until November. When you pre-order, when the pre-orders went live last week, I don't think that actually comes out until the middle or towards the end of November, like I want to say the 17th. I don't know if that's right, but November 17th or somewhere around there. But yeah, as far as I know, yeah, it's there's no updates announced for anything yet, but I just Googled real quick PS5 Pro. I was curious, like if there's any updates and stuff. There's an article 16 hours ago that apparently people's 30th anniversary pre-orders are being canceled.
Don't say it got canceled. Oh no!
I haven't gotten anything about my controller. I better not lose that controller pre-order.
I would jump into the river if they told me that, especially if I was up when I was supposed to be and got the pre-order, and oh no, that's so devastating.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, being up at the butt crack of dawn to get a 30th anniversary.
Whatever store I ordered that from, if they came back and told me that they didn't have it anymore, I would never shop there again.
Yeah, no, that would suck so bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it says retailers and PlayStation Direct itself seems to have oversold the 30th anniversary PS5.
You know how many there are?
Oh, so it's 3 different products: the 30th anniversary PS5, the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro, and the DualSense controllers. Man, if I get an email about my controller, I don't get it, I would be so pissed.
I'd be hot if I were you, I tell you.
Man, Amazon to add it. Sorry, this is a totally different news story. We're getting off on tangent here. To add insult to injury, Amazon is apparently handing out $5 vouchers as an apology for the inconvenience.
$5. I thought I secured a $1,200 console bundle, and you tell me,
sorry,
here's $5. Cancel my Prime. Cancel my Prime. Delete my account, good buddy. You will never see me again.
Yeah, so the PS5 Pro, sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't the 17th, it's the 7th. It released on the November 7th. As of 9:02 p.m. on October 14th, 2024, I can still pre-order a PS5 Pro. Still available on PlayStation Direct.
Okay, so it's not
I love how
the end of the world.
I love how in the description it says due to high demand, there's a limit of one console per order.
Okay, thank you.
Extremely
Sony,
high demand. It is full.
Because I was definitely planning on buying multiple PS5 Pros.
Oh man, wild. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but yeah. Anyways, PlayStation, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Goofing big time. That's what.
Shutting down LittleBigPlanet 3 and canceling pre-orders. Woof.
Have we heard anything from, now that we're talking about pre-orders real quick, have we heard anything from GameStop? Are they doing a promo right now?
Not that I've seen announced.
You know the ones they always do.
Yeah,
that are like
right. That's
the new hardware is coming out. Give us your old one.
Yeah, that's how I got the PS4 Pro. They had some special deal where it's like normally you'd only get $25 back. We're gonna give you $75.
I was gonna say we'll give you 30 this time.
30. It's usually pretty ludicrous, but I mean, I don't know. No, I think it was pretty good for the PS4 Pro because that's the reason I upgraded. I'm like, well, at that price, why wouldn't I? Right. But I feel like it's not going to be as good for the PS5.
No, they'd have to give you like $400 for it to be like a interesting deal, and that's probably close to what they're going to sell it for. It ain't going to happen.
So I was just curious how much Best Buy would give me because they do trade-in still, and this is before pre-orders even went live for the PS5 Pro. So obviously this isn't including any deals or anything. But I just went on Best Buy and did like the price finder. So they're like, oh, what hardware do you have? Blah, blah, blah. You go through, is it in good condition? All this stuff. I get to the end. So for my PS5, Best Buy said they were going to give me like $120 for it.
I'll keep it. Actually, I will keep it. Thanks.
I know. That's what I was like.
Get out of my face.
Seriously? I spent
it's not even that old.
$400 on this thing. It's only a couple years old. They're going to give me like 100. It wasn't. I think what the worst part is like it wasn't even $150. It couldn't even been like it was $150. It was like 120 or 30 something. I'm like, no, are you kidding me? Best Buy, no, you're better than that. I thought you were better.
What are we doing?
I thought you were better than GameStop. I thought you were better. Man. So, but we'll see. Yeah, GameStop sometimes has, as much as I hate shopping there. I mean, I haven't shopped there in years. I've been kind of boycotting them for all their crap they do, but they have a good enough deal.
Shutting down Game Informer.
That too. That hurt. I subscribed to a couple new magazines a couple months ago now, recommended by listener Carrie, supporter on Patreon. And I finally got like physical ones in the mail. When I initially subscribed, it was right at the tail end of like their cycle, so I didn't get that issue, but they gave me all the digital versions, which is awesome. I think I shared them with you as well. Because since it was a Super Gamer Boy purchased, I was just like, oh, I'll share them with Adrian. But I just got the physical ones in the mail, and let me tell you, it's just so fun to hold an actual physical magazine in your hand and like flip through it. So good. Patch is one. They're both indie. They both focus on indie games. Patch is one. I just love it because it was like cute. It's almost like a little zine. Like it's very small. It's a little small magazine. It's not like a full size print thing. And like flip through it for a few minutes. That was super fun. But the other one, I don't even remember what it's called. I need to look it up. Now I feel stupid. But I looked. That
what did it look like? What was it?
I shared it. I shared them with you. I just can't remember. It's another indie game magazine, but that one has like 100 pages in it. Like it's massive, and it's like interviews.
It's probably
and behind the scenes.
I was gonna say like a collaboration effort.
And I'm super excited. I haven't actually had time to flip through that one, but I'm really excited about that. So thanks, Carrie, for recommending some awesome magazines because I'm excited about jumping into that. Patch was one, and then Debug, as it's called.
Oh,
Debug was the other one. They're both like indie focused. But yeah, I'm excited to check out.
How much is a subscription per year?
I mean, you pay per
per issue.
Per issue. So it's a little bit more because they're both based in the UK. You have to pay shipping. So, but I want to say for the one
in the UK, I gotta pay for shipping.
Yeah.
For shipping.
I want to say the one was like for patch, the smaller one, it was like $7 or $8 an issue, and that's like monthly.
And then $25 shipping.
No, with the shipping, it was only like a couple. I think it got it brought up to like $10 or $11, so not bad. And then Debug, that's like the 100-pager one. I think that one is more like $17 or $16. That's with shipping and everything, but it comes out every 3 months. So if you break that down into like a monthly payment, you're only paying like $6 or $7 a month or whatever. I'm like, that's not terrible. And it's 100 pages of content. I'm like, this is much bigger than like a Game Informer ever was. You know, Game Informer, even Game Informers were like 20 or 30 pages, and I paid what, $10 a month, $15 a month for those as well. So this is the same price. Or cheaper for more content. It's all indie stuff, so it's really cool.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to check out the magazine, like I said, I already sent you the PDFs because they give you digital versions. You can either subscribe digitally. I got those. You can subscribe digitally, or you could subscribe physically, and you get both physical and digital. So yeah, if you want to get the physical, check it out. It's good stuff. Anyways, a little plug for Debug and Patch Magazine. Go check them out. We should get on to this last news story, eh? Eventually.
Yeah, at some point.
All right. This last news story comes to us from Jody McGregor over at PC Gamer. When I'm looking for a real snarky headline, this is my go-to. PC Gamer. Nintendo fans wished for new hardware. The monkey's paw curled and they got an alarm clock.
That's such a long, unserious title.
I just love it. It's so true. There's a lot of merch out there for the Nintendo adult in your life. You want a heat-changing Game Boy mug, Animal Crossing themed Monopoly, a Mario Kart t-shirt that says, "Do you even drift, bro?" All of these things exist. And now, so does an official Nintendo alarm clock that parps out official Nintendo music and official Nintendo sound effects until you rouse your lazy carcass and finally start your day.
Good grief.
ALARMO lets you select music from games like Super Mario Odyssey, Pikmin 4, Breath of the Wild, and Splatoon 3. But it doesn't just play these jaunty tunes when it's time to wake up. It also includes a motion detector so it can add appropriate sound effects as you shift, turn, and try to jam the pillow over your head like Mario's coin collecting ding or the splat of gunshots from Splatoon. When you finally get up, it plays a triumphal finish and then turns off automatically. But wait, there's more. ALARMO also plays game-themed sleepy sounds when you get into bed, has animations of Nintendo.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
In what context?
Sleepy sounds is in quote. I don't know what that means.
Right.
Has animations of Nintendo characters that appear on its screen each hour and tracks your movement and sleep patterns like a little bedside creep.
Okay.
I love PC Gamer so much. Between this and Pokemon Sleep, Nintendo's database of nerd sleeping patterns is going to be worryingly complete, but to what end? You can also connect ALARMO to the internet, of course, which will let you download additional alarm sounds and updates. Because in 2024, what we really need is DLC for an alarm clock. If you were hanging out for Nintendo, if you were hanging out for Nintendo to announce anything about the Switch 2 in October, keep waiting, I guess.
I mean, we still got 2 weeks. It can happen. It can happen.
I love it so much. Yep. So that's it. We got a Nintendo sound alarm clock called the Nintendo ALARMO. What a name, you know? What a
boy.
Name. I saw another article and it made me laugh. It's like, this is the alarm clock for single people, because obviously it doesn't work if you have a spouse. So like, either A, your spouse is going to kill you, or B, like it's not going to work because
it doesn't work for 2 people.
It has a tracker and it tracks one person, you know. So it's like it's all the.
I mean, I guess I have to buy it then, right? Because wouldn't that make me the target audience for this? I am a single.
It's gamer. Only a cool $100, 99. Actually, I think it's like $99.
It could have been worse because they could have touted all the Wi-Fi and motion sensor technology and all that stuff they needed. Maybe till next year, when the Nintendo store gets out here, I'll just stroll on in and pick one up.
Yeah,
I could do that.
So right now, it's only available in the New York City store or online if you're a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber. So you have to have a Nintendo Switch Online account, which is like what, $30 a year or whatever, and then,
something like that,
or fly to New York City and pick one up at their store. I'm curious if people are actually buying them. I mean, because they went on sale immediately, as far as I know. Like, they were available right away. So but I haven't heard anything since it was announced last week. I kind of want to know, like, are people actually getting this? I want to see it in the wild, like people actually using it. I don't know, or what their thoughts are. Should we get it? Seen some Super Gamer Boys get one. Should I order one for you just so we can test the thing?
You joke, but I would make a full video of like a video review of it. That would be so good. I had to set up my camera next to the bed and have it go off and like sit there and lay there and like move my hands and roll over so that you can see how it works. That would be fun. That would be a fun like little video essay review to do. Oh man, if only.
Oh man. I don't know. It's silly. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, this article is pretty snarky.
It's fun.
This article is snarky, and I agree with everything they said, but at the same time, I kind of want one. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun.
It looks really fun.
However, your wife would kill you.
Oh, 100%. My first thought was also like my kids would lose their minds. They would love this. Like, imagine like
target audience if anything.
But the problem is they have bunk beds, so it's like it'll only work for one of them. It's like,
right.
I don't know, do we take turns each night? Like, put it up top for one, down below for the other one? Like, I don't know. That just seems like a whole thing I don't want to get into as a parent. So it's like, I spend $99 to fight with my kids every night. Who gets the alarm clock? It does look sick though. Don't get me wrong.
It does. It looks fun. I would try one. I would definitely do it.
If I had lots of money and no one else sleeping in my bed, I would 100% have one of them.
There you go. We're in the same boat then.
I think the weirdest one is the Ring Fit Adventure. I'm surprised. That's one of that's DLCs is you can get the Ring Fit Adventure stuff. I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, people probably are used to like doing it in the morning when they get up, you know, it kind of gets you in the mood to play the Ring Fit. I think as an alarm clock, the Zelda one probably fits the best.
Oh, the Zelda one. That's honestly like what I would want in there. Like the music is fantastic. Although I don't know how I feel about, because in the preview they play the Zelda one. It's like, wake up, Link, wake up, it's time. And I'm like, that would be kind of annoying. Like, that's your alarm clock in the morning is Zelda. Please, it's time to wake up. You need to wake up, Link.
I saw a video somebody put on Twitter, I think it was, and they were like, this is what should happen if you snooze the alarm too much when it's the Zelda typeface on there. Like if you do it maybe like 3 times, it'll just start playing the Guardian music and you have to get up to turn it off. Oh, that's so good.
Well, they do say that if you don't wake up, if you keep snoozing, with Mario, they said Bowser will show up. Like it does that.
Really?
So it might. They didn't. It
might do that.
They didn't say what it does with the other themes. So with Zelda, it might like pull up Guardian music or something. Honestly, they only said what it does with the Nintendo one. They're like, yeah, with Mario. With Mario, if you wait too long, someone might show up, and it showed like a picture of Bowser, like. Oh. So like,
it needs to be loud though.
Just
for like your consequence,
absolutely like, ridiculously loud, like ear piercing.
Ridiculously, like Bowser is right in your ear, hollering. It needs to be like that, and it needs to be the Guardian music, just blasting, and you wake up enraged, not only at the clock but at yourself that you let it get this far, and you'll never oversleep again. You know what? Nintendo, you sold me. Give me one.
You got it.
Give me one.
Oh my gosh, so great, so great. So there you go. Everyone was stoked because they put out a little tweet like, "Ooh, new hardware being announced tomorrow," and everyone's like, "This is it!" And then they're like, "Nintendo Alarmo."
Actually, it's not though.
Nintendo Alarmo. Wild Nintendo, absolutely wild. Love it. Love the troll. All right. Well, that is it for our news stories this week. I think that means it's time for our Patreon ad.
Roll it.
All right, this is the part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys and support us over there starting at just $1 a month. That's right, $1 each and every month gets you episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, as well as exclusive access to our Patreon shows, Patreon exclusive shows such as Super Later Boys, early season Super Gamer Book Club, and everything we put out early, or not early, obviously it's not early, it's late, but you get it ad-free. So if you've missed stuff that came out in the past, you want to catch up, you don't want to listen through all the ads that you get through a lot of those early episodes, go ahead and support us on Patreon. Just $1. Get through our whole catalog ad-free there. You can also support us at $5 a month and get that previous perk, as well as the show notes early. So you'll see exactly what we're going to be talking about each and every episode, the news stories, the questions, what we've been playing. You can leave your own questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, recommendations, suggestions. Last week, Kajoma stopped in and suggested a news story that we missed, or didn't miss, but it came out the day of the show, so after I'd done the show notes. So that helped us, and we had a more up-to-date news story. So think about supporting us there at the $5. And also, that's the first tier that also gets you your name in the show notes. That's something I always forget to announce here. But, $1, you just get episodes early and free. But at that $5 mark, your name will be in the show notes as a Patreon supporter. And every tier past this, above this, you also get your name in the show notes as a big ol' supporter. And when you go up to the $10 a month level, you get the previous perks. So you get their name in the show notes. You get the news, the show notes. You get the early and ad-free episodes. You also get a big old shout out at the top of each and every episode. So not only can people see and read your name, but you get your name shouted at the top from the rooftops. Hey, this person is awesome. They are a supporter each and every episode there. So think about supporting us there. And then we got a top dog tier. That's right. The $10 level we call our Super Gamer sponsor. And then top dog tier, $15 a month, Patreon producer. That's right. You can be a Patreon producer, $15 a month. You get all those previous perks, the shout outs, the name in the show notes, the early and ad-free episodes, the everything. And you also have the ability to pitch us a show segment. So if you're thinking about a cool segment idea, like, you know what, this would be a really cool idea for the boys to do, whether it's during our show, a separate show, a segment on Instagram Reels or TikTok or whatnot. Think about supporting us at that $15 a month level. Pitch it to us. We'd love to give it the old college try. And so that's it. Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. Think about supporting us over there. You can also support us at sgbstore.com. Get our Summer Gamer Boys merch. It's still up. Because you know what? Life's busy when you got a job. So we're extending that. Summer Gamer Boys. It's awesome, though. We got our classic collection over there, too. So if you just like our classic logo, we got sweatshirts, we got coffee mugs, we got stickers with the Summer Gamer Boys collection. We got t-shirts, we got shorts, we got hats, we got glasses, we got anything and everything. We got all the fun stuff. Go check it out. sgbstore.com. That all goes back, helps support the show and everything we do here. And then the last but not least, we got subscriptions on Twitch. So you're watching live on Twitch, or even if you're not, think about going over to twitch.tv/TheSuperGamerBoys. There's a "the" in the beginning of it because just Super Gamer Boys was taken already. I wish we could get that one day. So twitch.tv/TheSuperGamerBoys. And if you have an Amazon account, you probably have Amazon Prime, right? Most people do. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, or you know someone who does, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and that gives you access to Twitch Prime Gaming. Twitch Prime Gaming not only gives you free games and a bunch of other stuff each and every month, but it gives you a free Prime Gaming sub that you can use on a channel of your choice each and every month. Now, it doesn't do it automatically. A typical Twitch sub, once you subscribe to a channel, it automatically re-ups each and every month, taking that money out of your bank account. With a Twitch Prime Gaming sub, you got to remember to re-up it each month. But you know what? It costs you $0. And we still get the full $5, $6, whatever you speak, the cut we get from Twitch. Probably not full amount. Whatever, they always take a cut, you know. Gotta feed the corpos. But here we are with a free sub for you. So, well, not us, Amazon. Think Amazon, I guess, in this situation. And you get access to our streams with no ads. You get access to our emotes. And you help support the channel. So think about going over to twitch.tv/TheSuperGamerBoys, support us over there, and it would be help us tremendously. And we thank you all who do support us that way very, very much for all of that love and support. All right, that's it. Now I believe it's time to get back to the show. All right, we're back from the ad in Adrian. It looks like you got some fun stuff there on the desk in front of you. So I want to know what it is. So I'm going to ask you, what you playing?
Oh, it's nothing much. Just me and they don't call me Pocket Poppy for nothing. Just been hanging out with my little analog pocket.
Heck yeah.
Taking that around with me. I don't use it as much as I would like to, and I'm trying to change that. So I've been playing it. Been playing a lot of Game Boy Advance, a lot of WarioWare, a lot of Fire Emblem, and a lot of Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland. Ooh. And I also have my dock hooked up, so I can take that, and then I have the 8-bit duo little Bluetooth controller.
Okay.
And I'll just pop that in and just, play it on there when I get home for a little bit. Games look fantastic. I don't know what black magic they use to make them look so good on the TV, but they look great. And then when I'm ready to go, unhook it, put it in the bag, take it with me. Freaking love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
It's awesome.
Only thing is I have to take my carts with me, and it always makes me a little nervous, having to leave the house with them, because I don't know if you've seen lately, but I'm not victim of it, thankfully, but some of the costs of these carts are just
absolutely insane,
astronomical. Like, you're telling me my little Ruby and Sapphire that I have is worth $130?
Crazy.
$130?
Crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. I paid $30 for it. Well, no, I paid, how much for Game Boy Advance games? $39?
Yeah, something like that. 30, 40
something
bucks.
Like that.
Yeah.
Something like that back in the day. And now they're that much?
It's insane.
If I ever lost these games, I am not buying them again. I'm not doing it.
Yep. Nope. Sorry.
It's ROM City for me.
That's something I think I might have asked you before, but I can't remember what your answer was. So forgive me for asking again. Is it possible to play ROMs on the Analog Pocket? Because I feel like the initial thing I remember with their marketing is they were like, you can't do it, but I feel like there's a workaround.
You cannot play games on, you cannot play ROMs on Analog Pocket. Wink.
Because, okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so. Can it play flashcards?
Yes, but it acts a little weird with it. It's probably better if you just use the ROMs.
Okay.
Which you cannot use with an Analog Pocket.
You can't use on there. Okay. Because here's the deal. Like the idea of it looks awesome, but I don't have any cartridges. But I just don't know. Like, I just don't know, like, if I should commit to getting one and then fighting with it, or do I just just live without it? I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't be fighting with it.
It's just such a beautiful device. Like, I'm on the website right now looking at the white one. That white one looks so sick. I want a white Analog Pocket so bad.
I was so close to getting the white one. I really was. But
I also don't want to spend $130 on Pokemon Ruby either. So it's a rock and a hard place kind of thing. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll research it.
Real talk answer. Yes, you can get away very easily with playing ROMs on an Analog Pocket. However, the catch is, if I'm not mistaken, Analog's cores that they use for emulation are like the only ones that allow you to do the save states and to make the game sleep.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
So you lose features potentially by doing it?
You do, by doing the ROMs. Yeah, if you have the actual cart, because it takes that whole basically image of the cart it takes that whole ROM and for the time being downloads it onto the system memory from the cart. Right. It can manipulate it however it wants. That's why it's able to make save states and able to make take screenshots and
I see,
and all that, because it'll take a save state and then it'll load it into the system memory. So once it recognizes that that game card is in there, it'll go doot, 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 doot,
okay,
and load the save state.
Another question. I noticed they sell a link cable. Does it have wireless link cable built into it at all, or no? Have they not added that?
I don't think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't think so, because I think they were trying to make it 1-to-1.
I see.
And no Game Boy ever had the wireless. The SP had the little accessory, but I mean like built in. No Game Boy ever had straight up wireless communication like that.
Right.
I mean, you could say, yeah, the color had like the little IR port, but you're not playing games through that. You can't send enough data through that. So
I was just curious.
It would be
I was just wondering, because I saw the link cable. I'm like, oh man, how sick it would be to be able to if we ever met up or something, and or even if it was like over the internet, like to be able to like trade with people still. But I wasn't sure if that was a feature or not. Okay.
Look, I'll just keep that thing on me, okay? And when I run into you, we'll just use the link cable, and we'll either play something or trade something or whatever we got to do.
There we go. When we run into each other and walking down the street.
Yeah, be like, hey man, I got a Machamp or a Machoke that I'm trying to evolve, and it only evolves through trading. What you got for me? I can help you out.
I got a Pidgey.
You know what I'm saying? And then we can do that all the time. Just be like, oh, here's my link cable. Hold on. Boop, boop.
There you go.
Knock out a trade. Keep it going.
Keep it going. Sweet. That's all my questions. I'm excited. I'm glad you're getting back into it, playing it some more, giving it some more love.
Mm-hmm. Which it deserves. Very nice piece. Very nice piece of machinery. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous screen. Speakers. That device is much louder than it needs to be.
Oh, really?
Yes. I play it at very low volume. I've turned it up all the way. It is much louder than the speakers on that thing are gigantic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It is way too loud. Way too loud. I don't know why they thought they needed to make it that loud. It doesn't need to be.
I mean, it also has has a music, like a MIDI player in it, right? So maybe that's part of the reason why? Or am I remembering it correctly?
Oh, yeah.
Like has a synthesizer
No,
in it?
you're right. You're right.
So I wonder if that's part of it. It was just like, let's just make it blast. So then for the music making people.
Mm-hmm.
But for the gaming people, it's like too much.
It's like, I don't need this. I like my ears.
Oh man, that's awesome. Maybe one day. I have a job now, so we'll see.
You can make it happen. But that's enough about me, my good man. What, if anything, have you been playing?
I just want to say real quick before I'd say what I've been playing. Like I said, I'm on Analog Pocket's website.
Mm-hmm.
So the Analog Pocket Black and White, different colors, but they're the same price. If I go down to the Analog dock, the standard dock's $100. For some reason, the white one's $130. They're charging an extra $30 for a white dock.
Yeah, paying for that paint job, brother. Maybe it's a little more difficult to apply than the black one.
But why is the consoles the same price? Like, they get away with making both the consoles white and same price.
I don't know.
The dock, they're like, sorry, we gotta gouge you somewhere. We can't get you.
No, wait. Isn't the white dock technically limited edition?
It does say white.
Is that what it was?
It says white LE, so which I assume is limited, but it's still in stock. Like, it's not. So it's obviously not.
Well, because not that many people.
It's not
that many people are buying docks. That's why.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just surprised they wouldn't have cut the price since it's not selling. But
it's Analog. When have you ever heard them cutting any kind of price of anything?
That's true. What have
That's
I
the
been
one
playing?
thing they get criticized on is how much their stuff costs.
Right. I have been playing Yakuza 0.
Are we still liking it? We still in?
I am still on the train. I just finished chapter 3. I'm on to chapter 4, I think, now. And still very much loving this game. I guess spoilers for Yakuza 0, which is an old game. Been around a few years. So skip ahead a couple minutes, I guess, if you don't want to hear spoilers. But yeah, they in the beginning of chapter 3, they introduced a new character. So you actually play as two different. I didn't realize that. Like you started with one character and then it jumps into another character's story. And it's just interesting because in your story, the first story, it's like you are Yakuza and you want to be a part of Yakuza, but you freaking fly, get out of here. You leave to protect people you love or don't care about. And then that jumps in the second story and you are someone who wants to be in the Yakuza, but you were kicked out for some. I'm still trying to. We still haven't gotten the full story as to why, but you were kicked out for some reason. And you're being punished, and one day maybe you'll be able to come back. But at this point, you're making the Yakuza too much money. You're a manager of a nightclub, and why would they want you back when you're making them hand over fist cash at this club? So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, like the parallels, but at the same time, like the very specific differences, and it's like they're like opposites. You know, like one's purposely like wanting to get out to protect people, and the other one's trying so hard to get in to protect people. You know,
right.
So it'll be interesting to see how their stories collide here. That's what I assume is at some point they're going to come together. But I'm loving the gameplay. So much fun. The combat's a blast, especially now getting a new character. Like, so the first character is like 3 or 4 different fighting styles, so which keep the combat fresh and exciting. And now that I'm on a new character, he has completely even more new combat styles. So I've only discovered 2 of them so far, but I assume there's going to be 3 or 4 just like the other character had. So I don't know. It's just so cool. Like at any moment I can be like, I'm getting bored fighting like this. I want to fight like this. So like with the other character, it's like there's like a rapid style or like a brawler style, or you could, I forget what it's called, but like there's another one where a beast or something like that. And that's where you like pick up tables and stuff and beat people with like items in the room. And with the new guy, you know, he has like a style with a baseball bat or just a standard like fighting brawler style as well. So the combat's fun, the story's fun. I don't know, I'm loving like the drama and the story is so good, but also like it's still in setting such like a serious story, and then all of a sudden you come across these like goofy side stories. Like I love that. I love how it's just like taking itself so seriously, and then it's like there's this little girl who just wants this little stuffed animal out of a crane machine. Can you help her out? It's like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, I can help her out.
One moment, little child. Let me go get that for you.
Or I don't know. And there's all sorts of like just random stuff like that. It's just like, what? No, like this is the wildest situations you get yourself into. And I love it. I love it. It's like a serious game with like these random little, just like, oh, here's some little silly, here's some little silly, here's some little silly. I'm like,
here's some personality.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, okay, I'm loving this. The style that they've come up with the Yak, and I assume that continues through, you know, the whole series. And so I'm looking forward to playing more of these games, that's for sure. But yeah, from what I can tell, I put a good chunk of time. I guess I don't know exactly how many hours I've put into Yakuza 0 so far. If I had to guess, it's probably like close to 7 or 8 hours. But it's supposed to be like a 30-hour game, and I feel like I'm not getting any closer to the end. So either I'm putting in more time than I need to in these areas, which isn't a bad thing. It just means I'm getting immersed in the world, or I'm further in than I think. But well, we'll have to wait and see. So that's my little update for Yakuza. I don't have anything specifically that like really hit me, but overall, like I'm still just loving this game. It's such a fun series that I'd heard great things for so long, but I just distanced myself because I'm like, it was just too daunting. So I'm glad to finally be in it and be like, okay, this is doable.
Man, look,
this is doable so far.
You can't think,
and it's so fun.
Yeah. You can't think about the fact that there's 7 games. You got to think of it as just, it's this game right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I do want to say I dove into Death Stranding a little teeny tiny bit because I've been listening to Super NPC Radio's Death Stranding book club. They've put 2 episodes out so far.
Which you orchestrated.
Yes, I kind of swung the votes over to get that happening for them. I don't think they were all too happy about it. After listening to the first episode, it sounded like they were pretty upset about it, actually. And then, but they asked me to plan out, kind of give them a roadmap for the rest of the episode. So like, okay, you know the game, help us out with what episode should be about what and chapters and all this stuff. So yeah, I was kind of part of planning the whole book club for them. They asked me to be on it, but at the time I was out of town, unfortunately. So we'll see. Maybe one of these episodes I'll join them. But I dabbled in it after kind of help planning it out. I'm like, I got a hankering for some Death Stranding, so I got in there a little bit, and it's a great game. One of these days I do need to get through the director's cut, because there's a lot of content in there I missed because I haven't played through the director's cut fully. So one of these days I'll do it. But first, Yakuza. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So with that, I just want to say thank you all so much tonight for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are all fantastic. Whether you're listening here on live while we record it, watching on YouTube or on Twitch. We stream live to both of those locations on Monday nights around 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, unless my internet's not working. Then it's closer to 8, like it was tonight. Just stay tuned, subscribe, and turn on notifications and you'll know exactly when we're going live. Later, you could be listening and watching on Wednesday when it goes live to everyone else. On YouTube or on podcast apps all around the globe. Or if you do want to early ad free, as we mentioned earlier, you can go to patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys, support us over there and get it immediately after our recording on Mondays. So after we stream it live, I take the live streams down off of our channels so no one else can watch it, edit it, clean it up, upload it without the ads for you Patreon folks. You can listen and watch. So both the MP3 and the video are available on YouTube for you to listen and enjoy. So think about supporting us over there. Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. SGBstore.com. You can support us over there by buying some sweet merch. Talked about that earlier. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, cups, mugs, stickers, you name it. Go check it out. We got some fun stuff. Rate and reviews where you can, or whether it's on Apple Podcast or on Spotify. We appreciate it. All the love, shout outs. We appreciate it so much. Big ol' shout out to Jack Sriracha, Yate, and DJ Trooz for allowing us to use their music on the show tonight. As I said before, we're listening to Jack Sriracha and Yate. Make sure to add them. Links will be available in the description to Apple Music and Spotify. And then during the week, you can find us over at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can the fine folks find you at?
They can find me any and everywhere on this here internet at Homeboy, HOLMBOI.
All right, and that is all I got. So, Adrian, would you mind taking us out?
Not at all, my boy. Folks, thank you for watching another episode of the Super Gamer Boys podcast. As always, we appreciate any and all forms of support, whether that's telling a friend, watching the VODs, buying some merch, subscribing on Twitch, you name it. It all helps us out. Helps us to continue to keep the lights on and help us to do what we want, which is hanging out with you and talking about the video games. And with that, we bid you adieu. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Do you have a bit?
I'm going to go buy Nintendo ALARMO and drive my wife crazy.
I'm going to buy Nintendo ALARMO because I am the target audience. Alono.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no.